Hey team, good afternoon. Wanted to take a moment and do an updated version of my how to find a house in Final Fantasy XIV video. So we're here in Limsa Lominsa, and first what I'm going to do is just cover the different housing zones that currently exist in the game. So there's Mist in Limsa Lominsa, there's Goblet in Thanalan, there's the Lavender Beds in Gridania, and there's Shirogane in Kugani. So each of the main cities, other than Ishgard yet, has a housing district attached to it, and the Crystarium as well, I guess, does not have one. But let's take just a real quick minute, and I'm going to show you brief videos of each of the different housing zones, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to search for housing and buy a house most efficiently. Alright, welcome back, and let's take a look at how to find and buy a house in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm going to make this real easy for you. So you go up to any of the main city aetherytes, specifically the one that you're interested in looking at housing at. And the best time to look for housing is usually right after the hour. Real world time. So 12:01 p.m., 12:05 p.m., 1:06 p.m. The reason is because you can get housing in Final Fantasy XIV, or housing becomes available in Final Fantasy XIV one of just a couple of ways. Way number one, by far the rarest, is they add housing to the game. That obviously creates housing opportunities. Way number two, much more common, is someone who hasn't been playing the game for a while loses their property, which is only fair. If you are owning a piece of the game and you haven't played for months and months and months, someone else should get that house. And way number three is just normal real estate movement. So one person buys a new house, they relocate, their old house becomes available. So those are really the ways that housing can become available in the game. So how do you find a house? Well, you go up to the aetheryte. I'm telling you, this is by far the best way. You click on the aetheryte and you go to Residential District Aethernet. You click on that. You're going to see an option for go to a specific ward. You click on that. And then what's going to happen is you're going to pull up all 21 wards, and then there's two sections for each ward. There's plots 1 through 30, and there's plots 31 through 60. So please make sure you look through both sets. The way that I like to do it is I'll just start with plots 1 through 30, and I'll just start clicking through the wards. Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? I'm just simply clicking through the wards, and what I'm looking for is what just popped up on number 23 there. All of the green and red, those are plots that people own already, and it's the name of the plot. The red are houses where they're not allowing people to go in, and the green are ones where they are allowing people to visit that house, just kind of as a side note. But when you see a price come up like this, that means that that house is available. But anyway, you continue on and you look through. There's another price there, and you just keep clicking through. If you see multiples, maybe you want to go and visit them and see which one you like the best. But please don't forget to then click on plots 31 through 60 and do the same thing and click through those housing wards. And what I'm doing is just simply seeing if there's anything other than cottages available, and it doesn't look like there is currently. So once you find one, let's say we want to check out Plot 23 in Ward 11. This is where doing it this way is really handy. I've got Ward 11 selected. I'm going to hit the select key down here in the bottom left, and it's going to take me right to that ward. This is what makes using the main aetheryte super easy, because you can quickly teleport to the aetheryte and then quickly port to the specific ward that you're looking at. Next thing you want to do is open up the map. And what you'll notice for any of the houses that are for sale is this little icon here. It'll have like an auctioneer's gavel instead of an image of a house. So I see that it's plot 23 that it's available. Next I'm going to look for the closest aetheryte, which for this one is Mist Southeast. I click on that. I go to Mist Southeast, and it's going to take me to the closest area next to that plot. And then I just run right over to it, and you can already see here that it's an empty plot. When you get to one that's for sale, this is what it looks like, and this is actually a really good spot. Look at the ocean view on this plot. That is incredible. So in order to purchase this, you go to the placard here in front of the plot and you hit purchase land. Now one of two things is going to happen. If this is your first house, you're going to purchase the land and you're good. The second thing that could happen is if you already have a house and you're moving, it will give you 30% of the lowest possible price for your old plot back. That will go towards the purchase of the new plot. It will take your old house and put it right on that plot and put everything into all of the housing items that you have into storage. So it's super easy to relocate. If I were to click purchase land here, because I already have a house, it would relocate everything there. But there's a couple other things on this screen that are helpful. One, you see the price. This one's 2.9 million gil, which for a cottage with that view is a really good deal. The next thing you see here is the next devaluation. So if a house isn't purchased in a specific amount of time, the price will continue to drop. So if you're just don't have quite enough gil for one that's for sale, maybe you'll get lucky and it'll drop into a range that might be appropriate for you. I'll go ahead and put some of the different prices that are expected to pay for houses on the screen here. So that's essentially how you purchase the house. Real easy if you follow this method. Again, check after the hour, look for those prices from the main aetheryte, hit select in the bottom left, go there, look for the gavel, go purchase land. The next thing you have to do after you buy the land, is you have to put a house on it. Just go to the market board and look for, if you don't have a ton of money left, look for just a real cheap housing style that will fit. You can find housing styles for a few thousand gil at this point, because sometimes ventures bring them back. So they tend to have, there tends to be some that are quite inexpensive. And the reason I say that is because you have to put a house on it within a certain amount of time. Otherwise, you kind of relinquish the land. So that's an expectation. So again, team, hopefully that helps with finding and buying a house. The one other thing I wanted to cover is, or the two other things I wanted to cover are buying apartments and buying free company rooms, which are the other two types of houses that you can buy. So give me just a minute, I'll be right back with you. All right, and we're back, and we are in front of the apartment building in Myst called the Topmast. You can see the icon on the left-hand side of the screen there, just so you know when you're looking at the map what to look for, and then you just port to the closest aetheryte. I'm going to head into the building here, and you're going to go to a lobby, or the lobby. I'm going to go up to the apartment caretaker, and I'm going to say purchase an apartment. Apartments are 500,000 gil. Before you can purchase an apartment, you must obtain level 50 in a single class. Furthermore, you must hold a rank of second lieutenant or above in the Grand Company. So once you've met those requirements, you can go to any of the apartment buildings in any of the housing zones in the game, and you can purchase an apartment. Which, if you're just getting into housing, or if you're just starting in the game, buy one. Why not? It's definitely worth the investment. Even if you just use it as additional housing storage later in the game, it's worth it. Now, from a free company standpoint, I'm going to teleport to our free company house. And this is equally as easy, and actually less expensive for the same amount of housing space and storage. So you go to your free company house, and every free company house will have a door that takes you to the private room area. Now, because I already own one, it's not going to show purchasable, I don't think, but you'll look for this entrance to additional chambers. And right here, if you don't own a room already, it will offer you the ability to purchase one for 300,000 gil. So that is ultimately how to find and buy any of the different housing options in the game. So whether it's locating and finding land for sale out in the different housing districts, or find and how to relocate your house if you've already got one, to buying an apartment, to buying a free company room. Currently, those are the ways that you can purchase in-game property. So hopefully this helps. If you've got any questions about housing, please let me know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to cover here. Oh, and the last thing I will include for you are, just real quick, you'll see scrolling on the screen the different quests required to unlock housing in each area. If you're still watching the video at this point, obviously there's a couple other things you need in order to get housing in the game. One, you have to have the gil, you have to have saved up the gil, and two, you have to have unlocked each of the housing zones. So I will include that at this point, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.